What's up, guys? Zach Evanish from the Strong Life Podcast, and got a great topic today. Came in through the Instagram messages. Make sure you're on the newsletter. Go to zachstrength.com, get your free training courses. If you've been listening for a while, you hear that message all the time, and I got to push it. I got to push our content, our information, so that we impact and change more lives. And as my boy Johnny Wellborn says, got to battle the bullshit out there. Got to put out the quality information and battle the bullshit that has maybe better looking website, better looking models, Instagram influencers, so on and so forth. Okay, zachstrength.com, and hit the links below. Resources for you, whether you are a parent of an athlete, a strength coach, you want business, you want training, or a strength athlete and you want training and coaching and all age groups. So everything is linked up below. And of course, you could go to my website. So I can't show you this question. When somebody sends a question, I like to keep it anonymous. I think that's fair. But I'm reading from the phone. Okay, so you didn't see it. I'm gonna open up my phone and I'm gonna dig into a couple things under the umbrella of this question. All right. Says, hey, Zach, I met you at the NHSC. Oh, this is an older one. This is an older one. Hold on a second. Here we go. Hey, Zach, hope all is well with you. It's off social media, blah, blah, blah. And I remember in the past you saying for us to reach out if we ever needed help talking about high school strength and conditioning. And that being said, I have another podcast that I do with my buddy Paul Collodi. I have not, well, actually, I do upload some of them right here on the Strong Life, but the YouTube videos, they're recorded Zooms. If you go to my YouTube, it's under the category New Jersey High School Strength Coach Podcast. And you could go to my website, type in Strength Coach Career, Strength Coach Business, you'll get stuff. So this coach says, what are some other ways that other high school strength coaches have been getting paid? Hourly rate versus stipend. How are they negotiating the amount that they get paid? And are they getting the same as an assistant sport coach, volleyball coach, football coach, baseball coach? I'm very curious because I don't feel as if I'm being properly compensated compared to sport coaches in my school. If you remember who I am, I'd appreciate if you kept this between you and me. And I told him this will be anonymous, and says, I'm going to try to negotiate my pay for the upcoming school year. And so I send back audio messages, but I said, I'm not sure where, I'm not even sure what state he's located in, to be honest with you. But I said, here's the deal. We could talk about what we're bringing to the table, but if the athletic director himself or herself, if he or she does not understand personally the value of a educated and experienced strength coach, then us trying to convince them, it does not work. My one friend told me, if your administration does not support you, you are a salmon swimming upstream. And that's where it starts, with the leadership. And Jocko Willing says every problem is actually a leadership problem. Because if the athletic director does not relay the message down to the sport coach and say, this is our guy, this is our girl. In this case, this is I'm not even going to say if it's a guy or girl. This is our guy, this is our girl. You will see Coach X twice a week, 3 days a week off season, twice a week in season, period, end of story. That's your strength coach. That's who we hired. That's the expert. That is the answer to us getting better. If you don't have that, then the sport coaches will determine your value. Many coaches have an ego. I have an ego. But at the end of the day, my answer and my solution is always the question, what is best for the athlete? I say this from the underground strength gym. I've said this from times coaching at the Division I level, Lehigh and Rutgers. I've said this as a high school strength coach, full-time, going on my 7th year. If administration doesn't have that leadership and telling the sport coaches, this is our expert, then they will not view you as the expert. And I tell people all the time, hey, I struggle too. It doesn't matter who I've consulted with, doesn't matter I've coached at the D1 level. Some people, including adults, don't want to see you winning, even if that means their team is not winning. But the way I like to do this is, it's very interesting. safety should be the number one concern, right? Our job is to protect the athletes. What room in a school have kids died in? I don't know. Has there ever been a death in the science room from something exploding and burning? And I know some people will say, oh, school shootings. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking in the school setting. We have an expert, certified English teacher, mathematics teacher. You get a certification to be an administrator or a supervisor. Why does the strength coach in the most dangerous room of the school not matter? That is the strangest question. And I think schools are in a place now where they're just struggling with bodies, struggling to get people in there. They're struggling financially. They're struggling from all kinds of tax standpoints that if something costs another $100, they will rather take the more dangerous route. It's really the unfortunate answer. And here's where I look at it. Let's get to the bottom of this question. I don't like to say this is what I've done. This is who I am. I like to talk about the safety and the needs of the athletes. So when I went through my interview at the high school, they said, "What's your philosophy? What kind of strength coach are you? Are you a speed guy?" They didn't even know what questions to ask me. They said, "Are you a speed guy? Are you a flexibility guy? Are you I can't remember what they asked me." As soon as they started asking me those buzzword questions, I knew that they were not knowledgeable. And so I spoke from the heart. And this is what I said. I said, I'm a whatever the kids need guy. And so this athlete might need more strength. This athlete might need speed. This athlete might be coming post rehab from surgery. This athlete might be struggling with confidence. So I explained to them, I'm doing whatever is best for the kids. And every decision I make, I have a sheet of paper, a notebook, and even mentally, there's a line down the middle. And on one side column says what is best for the kids, and the other side says what is not best. What is best for the kids? To bring in somebody who's run the weight room before, to bring in somebody who was once upon a time a Division One athlete. I've coached at Division One universities, and those guys don't know how to run a weight room, but it's very enticing to an athletic director who also doesn't understand strength and conditioning to hire somebody who, oh, he played football at Rutgers, he played football at Michigan, Troy, whatever, Cal Berkeley. That doesn't make them knowledgeable. It makes them a great athlete at that sport. If you're at the Division One level, you're pretty elite. You have a mindset where you're probably going to struggle relating to somebody who's average and below average. And everything comes back down to, do you have the best solution and the safest answer to everybody in the school? And if that answer is no, then you need somebody better. And how do you negotiate pay? In the schools, they do not give you a raise based so much on your experience. Yes, you get a raise when you achieve master's and PhD, but schools are the outdated pay method of, okay, John Smith has been here 10 years. He's on step 10. Susie Smith is on her third year. Although she's smarter, more experienced, and a better teacher or coach than John Smith, doesn't matter. Susie Smith is on year 3. So now I'm really going to get to the answer of this. Why stay in a place when they do not value you? Do not lower your own perception of your value just because the people in your building don't value you as much. So how do you negotiate for this? I honestly don't have a concrete answer, but I would say, hey, I'm coming in with this much experience. I'm coming in doing this much work, working with this many kids. This is in schools, they look at your education. This is your education and certification background, and just be like, I'm coming in as a head coach for strength and conditioning. And so I should be getting paid as such. That's how it is in schools, public schools, private schools. When you work in the college sector, usually they're paying you according to your experience, what you are bringing to the table. And so it's kind of twofolded. Should you, spiritually and like in your soul, should you stay in a place where they don't value you and they don't care about the expertise you bring? Does it do good for your life? I'll tell you what, it does not. I know that life. Now I want to say number 2. Okay. If anybody reaches out to me for business information, and sorry about that, or training information, and you have gone through other certifications and not mine, why would you ask me for advices when you haven't even put skin in the game? And I'm going to say this a little step further when we want to talk about negotiating pay. The underground strength gym started in 2002. We have been proven to produce results from athletes who have trained with us from youth to high school to all kinds of levels of college. We haven't had pro athletes. I don't train pro athletes. There's no pro athletes living by me anyway. We've had athletes compete on international and world level, Olympic trials, and I've been hired by two Division I universities. I've been brought in to work for Naval Special Warfare. Most businesses, I think a super small percent, are able to exist more than 20 years. And there's quote unquote coaches out there who have certifications, who don't coach anybody, don't own a gym, never owned a gym, maybe owned a gym 10 plus 15 years ago, and they train nobody. And you guys go to them to get certified, maybe because it has a cooler name or they're a bigger influencer, but then you come to me to actually get advices. And so my question is, why is that a good thing? How is that if you trust me for advices, you should be going through our certifications. All of our certifications, they obviously have training information. They have business seminars added as a bonus. SSPC has 2 business seminars. They both have training seminar bonuses. They teach you systems so that you could tweak them and adjust them and adapt them to your specific needs, whether it's the population you're training or where it is that you're training. Oh, I'm going to tweak this up. I'm in the college sector, tweaking this up, private sector, high school sector, and so on. And so I would say this, guys. I was asked about this in the last podcast. I'm looking to see one person signing up for our certification every day. I think underground strength coach certification is where you start, and SSPC is where you progress to if you've got at least 5 years experience. And for those of you who are like, oh, I'm experienced, I'm sorry. I'm seeing coaches at the college level. They don't know how to even teach a box squat. I see videos of it done wrong. We've got coaches that can crush a Google spread, a Google spreadsheet. They could crush it by telling me about VBT and sprint times, but they don't even know how to spot. They don't even realize that the stance that that guy is in is not good for his body type, for his body structure, anthropometrics. But you can recite everything from the Soviet training books, but you don't know how to even do the lifting yourself. And so I'm going to say this, pat myself on the back. Our certifications are fucking awesome. And I think it's a bit disrespectful to get other certifications and yet you need my advice. And I think this is the problem with free advices. I give so much free advice, thousands of articles and videos later, that people are like, fuck it. Why would I buy anything? He shares everything with us. And that's also sometimes the problem with being too kind, too generous, and too nice. People take advantage of your information. And it happens a lot to strength coaches because strength coaches, what other job are they constantly volunteering and giving shit away? Hey, I'll sponsor your team. Oh, I'll train your team for free. Oh, you could come every weekend. Oh, I'll go to you. Who does all that? Do restaurants give out free food all the time? Do coffee shops constantly show up at football games, soccer games, wrestling matches, giving out, 10, 20, 30 cups of coffee for free? They do not. And so people don't respect what you got because that's what's happening in the strength and conditioning field. We're always trying to cheapen and make everything so accessible that you are no longer valued. And here's what's crazy. A coach or an athletic director, you'd think that they want to win, but sometimes their ego is so in the way, they would rather lose than say, yes, we got John Smith or Susie Smith here, and they're a big part of why we're winning. They don't want to share that. They will keep doing the same OG strength training that they used to do 30 years ago. And so how do you get somebody to value what you do? Get away from people who don't value what you do. Being around the wrong people will drain you and consume you in a negative manner. And I think they will add so much stress to your life, you'll begin to question what you even stand for. That's it, guys. Undergroundstrengthcert.com, sspcoach.com. Everything's linked below for those who want to learn. For those who want more free answers, yeah, send me an Instagram message. I got nothing else to do. Go to zachevnish.com. Thousands of free articles, videos, and podcasts. It's so expensive, it's free. Free of money, but guess what you got to do? Sit down and research, read, listen, take notes, take action. Can't wait to see the real ass kickers at Underground Strength Con coming up November 15th and 16th. Early bird registration is open. We are going to crush it. But if you don't value what we do, just keep watching on YouTube. I'm out of here. A little bit pissed off. Peace out.